Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be discussing how to pickle and can all those peppers that you have in your garden, specifically the spicy ones, so jalapenos, garden salsas, habaneros. It's a simple, easy pickling recipe that you can either have refrigerator pickles or refrigerator pickled peppers, or you can can them, and I'll show you how to. Here is our pile of peppers. So we have the Megatron jalapeno ones that we grew in the garden, and then the garden salsa ones. So we got some yellows and some green ones in here. And we're gonna be using the quart jars, one to do a water bath canning and one to just do refrigerator peppers, pickled peppers. So first what you're gonna do is you're going to wash up all your peppers, and then you're just going to cut them into rings. Okay, so you can just slice and dice them. You can take the seeds out if you don't like the spicy version, or you can leave the seeds in. I leave the seeds in. And so you're just going to take it, cut the top off. You can dispose of that wherever you want. And then we are just going to make rings, roughly that big. Again, can keep the seeds in, take the seeds out, whatever your preference is on your spicy level. So I'm gonna get going on that. Got a whole batch to do, and I'll show you at the end. Look at the size of some of these. Like, I know it's kind of hard to tell on camera, but compared to my hand, holy cow, we got a nice bright red one. I'm gonna keep chopping. All right, so I will show you what we have going on here. So I got some few stragglers left over that I want to keep just to use for general cooking. But here, everything is all diced up, okay? Seeds in and all. And then I'll show you how to make this simple pickling recipe. So what we have here, and I'll show it in the description up here, is 2 cups of water, 2 cups of vinegar, a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons of sugar, 2 tablespoons of pickling salt, and then 3 to 4 cloves of garlic. You bring that to a boil, and then you add everything into the pot. And so that brine was at a boil, and all you're gonna do is make sure everything is submerged. I actually had to add another cup of vinegar and water and 1 more tablespoon each of sugar and canning salt, just to make sure this is covered, because this is a pretty big batch. And so what you'll do is it'll obviously drop down in heat because you're adding stuff to it, but all you do is you let it sit for 15 minutes in this brine solution. So you remove it from the heat, let it sit for 15 minutes, and then you're ready to put them in the jars. And so you can probably see just the difference already. So we're 5 minutes in from this 15-minute soak. You can see that they're starting to turn colors. You're getting a little bit of a different green, some different reds, and that's what you want to happen. So we're gonna just let these sit for another 10 minutes, and then we'll throw them in the jars. And so now the next step, before you get everything in the jars, is to get your hot water bath up to boiling for canning. And I'll show you what my setup is, that I do it actually outside. And so my equipment is actually some repurposed home brewing equipment that I used to use. So I used to be a home brewer myself, made my own beer in our basement. And so what I did is I just used our stuff that I would use to boil and make our wort and all that stuff for beer. And now I just use it for canning. And so before you add anything to your jars, you want to make sure these are sanitized. So an easy way to do it is you can just run it on your dishwasher. They'll sanitize it. Most dishwashers have a sanitation cycle. You can run it on there, or just make sure it's the heavy duty, high heat one. Otherwise, you can put them in your hot water bath and let them sit for 15 minutes, and then they're sanitized, and you can fill them up and then put them right back in that hot water bath to can them and seal them. All right, so our 15 minutes is up. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna put everything in from this pot into here. The key with this one is you're going to try and pack as many peppers as you can in this jar, and then top it off with the brine solution. Okay, so here we go. And having this little funnel is just something that makes it a little bit easier. When you're scooping out, trying to keep as minimal of that brine solution, in the pot, so you can pack as many peppers in these jars as possible. So just keep ladling it in there. See if we can get maybe a couple more, maybe one more scoop in there. It'll all fit. There we go. This might be a little bit too full, but I'm just going to show you to get that solution in there. So we're going to take some of these out, just because it's a little too full. There we go. And so we're going to get this solution in here now. Put this funnel back on so I don't make a mess on my counter. You're going to get this all the way filled up to about a 1/2 inch of headspace. A little bit more. There we go. Remove that. Pack them in there. And then you're going to take your lid, put it on top, screw it on, hand tight, and it's all ready for the hot water bath to seal it up. I'm going to finish up this other jar, and then I'll show you how we hot water bath them. And so once they're in that hot water bath, for quart jars, you leave them in for 20 minutes so they get a good seal. For pint jars, you want to leave them in for 15 minutes for a good seal. So you're all done with your hot water bath. They've cooled down, and you can tell if they're sealed by simply doing this trick. So they got out of the hot water bath, they're cooled down to room temperature, and if you can go like this, I don't know if you can hear it, that means they are not sealed. Now I'm using a different jar because I just did refrigerator ones with these. So if they're not sealed, you can throw them in the fridge, and these will keep up to 6 to 8 months. So just put a use by date sticker on there, or you can write it up on top, and these will stay in the fridge for up to 6 to 8 months. If they are sealed up, put them in your pantry, put them in your cellar, and they are good to store for up to 18 months. So that's canning peppers in a nutshell. I hope you guys learned something today. Like I said, it's quick and it's easy. I'm filming this as I'm doing it, and I am done in under 45 minutes. That doesn't include cleanup, but under 45 minutes you can have pickled peppers to either store in your fridge or in your pantry. Hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you all next time.